Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. We're going to be looking at a couple of U.S. market charts today. Today is Monday, September the 9th, 2013. Starting off with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's pretty clear to everybody at this point that the market is making a move higher and will test some highs. So we'll be watching for that. And the basic thing to pay attention to here is you can still be a buyer here. You have clear sailing between this current point here. Any kind of a pullback you might get would be a great opportunity to buy as well. You have clear sailing from this point here all the way up to about the 15 to 300 level. Basically, this red line right here, this 50-period moving average, that's just easy money there because the next resistance point or the next pivot point would be at that point. So if we were to come up here like this and then stall out, it would be concerning because at that point we would have a potential for that head and shoulders pattern that we talked about before. However, currently that's just a potential thing that may happen. The actual thing that is happening right now would be the fact that you have this low point here, this higher low here, this high point here, and this higher high here, and that would all indicate a test of the previous high up at this level. So lots of money to still be made in that move right there, assuming that that continues to be the case. We will watch at this level here to see what kind of develops. If we get this kind of hammer candlestick formations and we stall or we consolidate, and various different things that could happen here, but you could consolidate here and then continue to move higher as well. So don't just jump out because you see something that doesn't continue to move rapidly up at this point in time. But again, it's how I would trade that. One more detail about this chart. We talked a little bit about this on Friday. If you look at the MACD, you can see the tools right here. There you go. One of the other charts I wanted to show you today would be the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index, and there are several bullish situations and bullish buy signals developed across the board and many of the markets that we track for you at PerfectStockAlert.com, so you can check them out there. But I'm going to show you a couple of them today, and one of them would be the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index. This one had more play in it than, for example, the NASDAQ, so I chose this one as opposed to the NASDAQ, but the NASDAQ is a similar scenario. But basically what you have here is a little bit more of a pullback here, back to the 50-period moving average, hammer candlestick formation, confirmation here. All this is telling you to buy a tight stop set off the low point here, and look for a test of this high, and you can even take that high out. However, at that point in time, I'd be rapidly advancing my stop loss limit every single day until it was eventually stopped out. The reason being that you have, in this particular case, the ultimate oscillator bounced up off the 90 line. That means that you're going to have any rally that comes up here and goes higher, you're going to have a situation where you may have higher price. So if we draw it out like that, where you have a high close here and a higher close here, and then you would be doing that, but in the same time period, your ultimate oscillator would not hit the 90 line. So it's going to peak out early. That would be a downtrending situation, and it would be telling us that we have a bearish divergence forming, and look for it to break down and fall back apart. That's basically the same thing that happened over here. We came up here, closed higher than we had done over here. This gave us this uptrend line like this. However, the same time period, we had this point here, this point here, and this lower point here, all telling us no, it's not going to hold, and it doesn't. It falls away. Quick glance now at the S&P 500 Large Cap Index, the SPX. This is another good chart here. Again, I want to point out in this particular situation, we had this nice move to the upside. We pulled back down, nice 50% retracement, down just below the 50-period moving average here, and got some conflicting signals. You could have seen some sell signals like we did here. We didn't really know what was going to happen, whether you're going to come down and test all the way to this low or what, but in this time period, you can see we just kind of reversed and started moving higher. Now we got a hammer candlestick formation confirmation at this point in time here, and you know you're closing above that 50-period moving average. This is still a good buy signal. Whenever you're in a bullish uptrend, which you still are in this particular situation, you have a high point here, higher high here, low point here, higher low here. In this scenario, the best buy opportunities will be at or below the 50-period moving average. So that's where you're at right now, and be buying that, looking for a move up here. Also, I want to point out, in this particular case, you don't see the ultimate oscillator up at the 90 line. So with that in mind, you can easily come up here and take out the previous high and stuff like that. So there's still very, very bullish here, really good opportunity on the long side in the SPX. Again, I want to point out there are multiple opportunities that are set up. I've only shown you a couple of them. Some of them that I actually prefer above others. And then if you wanted to see all of them, you can go to the market section of the website and the market charts. Those are my personal charts, the 3-month daily as well as a 2-year weekly. They show different signals that I see on the charts as well as chart formations and my stop loss limits. Okay, you can check them out daily because they're updated nightly. If you've not been to the free website at PerfectStockAlert.com, it's right there. It's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend. God bless. Take care, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.